My name is Jason Major, and we're talking. This is Sweaty Hero Comic Markets, and today we're talking about Image Comics from the early '90s. So I'm going to show you how they had multiple titles from different creators. So here's a copy of Youngblood #0, which is a gatefold cover. This is a lot of fun. Basically, it's a government team of superheroes, and they're kind of like it's like basically if X-Force was the Avengers in many ways. Shaft is very much like Hawkeye, etc. But it was a lot of fun. Savage Dragon #3 by Eric Larson. Bedrock is later renamed Bad Rock because of copyright reasons, but in here he's still listed as Bedrock. But for copyright reasons, because Hanna-Barbera were afraid that for some reason it would be too confusing, people confuse this gray giant as something to do with the Flintstones. I don't get that, but whatever. He became Bad Rock, but this is a fun issue of the Savage Dragon. Jim Valentino created Shadowhawk, and here he fights the Eric Larson's the Savage Dragon. So you can see a lot of these early '90s Image superhero universe kind of existed in its own together. They all existed in the same universe, although everybody owned their own creations, right? Rob Liefeld's Supreme. Rob Liefeld didn't draw this book, but Supreme is basically his Superman allegory, later to be written by Alan Moore. But Supreme was kind of fun. It's kind of like an Image version of Superman. This issue of Savage Dragon teams him up with the Mirage Studios version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Has a lot of fun. It's also a flip book with Vanguard #0, another Image character. So we got that. And our Eric Larson creation is Super Patriot, and so this is kind of like a cyborg story, so Super Soldier story, like a cyborg version of Captain America, you could say. Pretty cool though. I liked it. So we have a couple more issues of Savage Dragon. As he's a cop on the Chicago police force, and he establishes the Freak Force. These were really enjoyable, really a lot of fun. I recommend them. I don't know much about the Pact, except that Jim Valentino created the Pact. So, again, here's an example of Jim Valentino created Shadowhawk, created the Pact. This is beyond the original founding members of Image Comics. So, Wildstar was by Jerry Ordway and Al Gordon. And Wildstar is best described as Venom meets the Terminator, I guess, because it has a lot of time travel elements to it. But it's like a symbiote suit. You see it a little bit similar to Starro in a way. You remember Starro? The reason these are in this order is because I'm in order of date that they came out rather than alphabetically. So we have another issue of Savage Dragon. Again, a lot of fun. I did enjoy Wildstar and Jerry Ordway. A lot of people would know him from his work on Superman in the 80s. So, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was a miniseries. Ripclaw is from Mark Silvestri's camp and part of his Cyberforce characters. Cyberforce, again, were mutants. So they're very much like, basically, like, Cyberforce literally was going to be a spin-off of X-Force and X-Men before he brought those original characters to Image Comics. Spartan is from Wildcats and Jim Lee's camp. And Jim Lee, of course, later sold all his creations to DC Comics. But this is when it's still, he owns it. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought it would. Vogue, which would be best described as like, I don't know, X-Force's Domino mixed with Black Widow, because it is kind of like a Russian spy and assassin. And but it was a lot. This story was it was one of those ones where you think it's going to be like a throwaway comic, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun of it. Prophet and Chapel are both by Ralph Liefeld, and Prophet had his own series for a while, and so there's that. And then the Kindred is again more Wildstorm creations. So, and on the back here you can see how they had a Youngblood X-Force crossover. And how interchangeable those characters are. I had a lot of fun looking at and checking out a lot of these characters. So you have Strike Force, you had Cyber Force, you had Wetworks. A lot of these Image comics outside of Spawn and maybe the first couple issues of maybe Youngblood and Savage Dragon are all going to be found in your bargain bins, in your dollar bins, in your quarter bins. And if you like comics that are just fun, they're not big on story, they're just big on cinematic excitement. So this feels like your popcorn. This would be equated to like your popcorn movie, like Independence Day and Twisters and stuff where you just turn your brain off and I just enjoy the movie. I don't care if critics think it's a really big plot. These are fun. These are a lot of fun. I would say they're a lot of fun. Spawn is kind of its own, even though it was technically part of their universe. It kind of, I think, exists as its own thing now. But a lot of these, plus a lot of the other creators that you would find, Mike Grell did Shaman's Tears, for example, and there was a bunch of other creations by other creators. You're going to find a lot of image titles that you might not have heard of, or you recognize the creators, but they're doing obscure characters or new characters, or they're getting, they're hiring people, they're creating the characters, but they're getting other people to do it. They're a lot of fun. These are worth going through the quarter bins and dollar bins to read the 1990s Image superheroes. Stay sweaty until next time.